Right now I'm in as an employee on the employee self-service portal, and I'm logged in as a client at Aera Technologies, and I'm going to go in and take a look. So this is the web punch, and this can be configured differently based on the type of employee you have. This is a typical employee that would clock in and clock out. We've got clear delineations, what's a clock in and what's a clock out. For this employee, when they clock in and continue, we're going to make this employee assign a cost center to this. So you wouldn't make all of your employees do that, or all of your clients, but if I drill into engineering, for instance, and I've set this employee up so when they continue, they're clocked now into the engineering group. But I can come in and set my break. I can change the cost code on the fly as an employee. And one of the other nice things that I can do is I can go in and view my punches. So I'm clocked in now, but I could go down and I can view my hours. So this is an instance where an employee could come in and take a look at their hours, and maybe not for the employee I just clocking in and I'm changing cost centers here, but you'll have employees that maybe they clock in during the day and they do 3 or 4 tasks during the day, but they're not close to a reading device or close to a place where they can punch in and out. So one of the nice features that we have is the ability for an employee, if you give them access to, they can come in after the fact and split their time into other cost centers. Now in this case, I'm splitting by either percentages or changing the times in and out, but based on the profile of the employee, you may have a salary person that the salary person comes in and says, I want to put 2 hours in this bucket, and so on and so forth. Another real key component of what we built is the ability for an employee to view their accruals. And so as an employee, if I can see my accruals, I can see my balances, and I can come in and create a request if I want. I've got one out there, and I could just drill in here and I could add a new time off request. So this could be built in. I could put start and stop times. I can put in hours. I can pick from different leave codes that are available to me. I'll hop back to my manager and I'm back to my dashboard. So we talked about this all being customized, but let's take a look at the pending time off request. As a manager, I've got access to look at this calendar. So I can see all the employees who are set off here. We'll see Patricia's taking every Friday off. But if I've got multiple employees out here, it's going to tell me how many employees. So I can make sure I have coverage before I approve these time off requests. But I could just pick any one of these and approve the time off request, and that'll roll forward into the time collection. So the other thing I'll do, of course, is what you want to do is you want to keep track of what we call group hours on the system. So this is where, based on my role, I would see any of the employees that are assigned to me that I have access to in the system, and these are a full set that'll help me keep track of my workforce. So I've got some different icons here that'll help me indicate different exceptions. So there's approvals required here, but I can keep track of missed punches and late ends and things like that. See if a punch has been edited, I can come in and look at a punch. If I've got an employee where they've clocked in on one of those time devices where we're taking a picture of the employee, I could click on this and see who actually punched to make sure that that's the person that I really thought that I wanted to punch. I've also got the ability to drill into the details of different things, and this is a particular punch where we're tracking the location from where the employee punched in, so I could actually pull up a map to see if this employee is actually supposed to be there, where we think they were punching in. So very usable, very simple to navigate around and through in the system. I also have the ability to look at things, look at the extra parts of it, and view different options. So essentially what I'll do is I'll just go through here and I could blanket approve a bunch of hours if I want. So I could hit these and approve these hours. And if I go back to my dashboard, once those are approved, I'll see that immediately my approvals are complete. I should have pointed out, we had some that were unapproved before I went in and did that, but this is how I can keep track of that. You can have multiple layers of managers, levels of managers doing this stuff. But I'll come over here and take a look at some of the reports that I have. And what you'll see is you'll see a lot of reports. Approaching overtime is a big one. Everybody wants to make sure that they're not going to pay that overtime. But you have the ability as a system user or your clients that have appropriate usage, you can customize different templates for reports. So if I have a department hours report. I actually named this for my client, but I go into the settings of this and I have all kinds of different defaults and settings that I could set up to make this change. And then this is where I could go in and process a report and preview them. So this is just an example, department hours. This is the type of report that may be important to me. So you can make those changes private to you. You can share them with other users within your organization.